office is very close to here, and I was given a free parking permit to park here. Otherwise, it costs me $50 a park, said Hannah. Wow, I said. Hannah then helped me out of her car, and then we began walking toward where Robbinsog was. Are we on State Street, I asked. Yes, answered Hannah. Hannah then wheeled me onto the elevator, and then we were taken down to State Street. Do you remember the little park it was near? Hannah asked. Of course, I answered. They basically just expanded that. 2 minutes later, we arrived to where Robbinsog was. This is it, said Hannah. The building was completely gone. Wow, I said. I know, said Hannah. I know that the truth of the matter was that it was really a country though my parents treated it like it. I know the truth of the matter was that it wasn't really a country, though my parents treated it like it was, but this really does bring nostalgia and sadness back for me. Can I confess something to you before I marry you? Sure. My parents were concerned about me in that for a long time, and they had suspicion on me, and the thing they said to me when they found out was, we knew in our hearts that you converting to a Warism and falling for the Robbinsog thing was a bad idea. So why are they okay with us getting married, I asked. Because I fell for it no more than you did, and we are in the same boat, answered Hannah. I see. Are you ready to go to the Cook County courthouse? Yes. It was a 20-minute walk to the circuit court to Cook County, and then we went inside. This is it, said Hannah. Any more confessions, I asked Hannah. No. We then went inside the courthouse. Which way is it to weddings, I asked. I know this place like I know my house. I know what to do, Hannah answered. It was a couple of turns, and then we went to the line to apply for courthouse weddings, where we were the only people in line. Can I help you? Asked the commissioner. We're here to get married, said Hannah. The commissioner then brought out a few papers for us to sign, and once we signed them, we were given another one, and then we had to sign one together. By the power vested in me by the state of Illinois, I hereby pronounce you Hannah and Marcus Robbins, said the commissioner. We then kissed on the lips. It feels good to be married now, said Hannah as we were walking out of the courthouse. I know. Now we will stop at the cemetery on the way back, and then we will stop at my house to pick up our luggage, and then we will need to board the trains and ride them to O'Hare. What for? To catch our flight to Orlando. Oh yeah, what time is that at? 4 Chicago time, which means we arrive in Orlando at 7 Orlando time. What airline are we taking? United. Okay. It was about 20 minutes of catching up on our asylum experiences, but we did not bring up our family members at all, and then we went back to the car. Next stop, the Rose Hill Cemetery, said Hannah, when we got back into the car. Yep, I said. It was about a 15-minute ride traveling north up Lakeshore Drive to the cemetery, and me and Hannah continued catching up on our personal lives solely in the asylum, but stuck again to solely ourselves in the asylum. Here is the cemetery. They're buried right next to each other and share a tombstone, said Hannah. Hannah was able to pull me up really close to the tombstone because it was near the road. I won't take long, I said as Hannah was lifting me out into my wheelchair. Take all the time you need, as long as we don't miss our flight to Orlando, said Hannah. I then took a look at the tombstone. It was brown and it said, "Here lies Valerie Robbins, January 28th, 1972 to June 1st, 2018, and her husband, Marvin Robbins, May 26, 1979 to June 1st, 2018. I looked at it for about 2 minutes, and that was all the time, I needed before I went back to Hannah's car. That's all the time you needed? Hannah asked as she was lifting me back into the car. Yes. You just wanted a few minutes to look? Yep. Okay. Hannah then restarted the car. Thank you for letting me do that alone. I wasn't at their funeral because I was in the asylum, I said. Neither was I, said Hannah. I personally have no desire to do that again. Why? because of how they raised me. I see. It was just that in the end, they weren't really that nice people when we all thought they were. They were just strict parents. I know. Hannah then kissed me on the cheek as we were waiting at a stoplight. Did you ever visit their graves? No, and for the same reason as to why you never want to go back, answered Hannah. I see. Sam went a few times while George likes to go to visit them every week. George can still have a relationship with them even though they are dead, and I'm okay that he does that. I see. We then arrived at Hannah's house, and it was in the same place that was connected to her dad's board. Oh, I meant to ask you, how was your parents' board doing? I asked because I forgot to ask. Oh, they sold it, said Hannah. Sold it? Why? I asked. You know what? You know why I know about all that I do regarding the rest of your family? Why? I asked. Because ever since Sam got out 3 years ago, they sold it for the money for him to live with us. I wasn't expecting that to come from Peter and David, and that stunned me a bit, so I gasped. They did that? I asked. They did, answered Hannah. Why? Because I knew that I wanted to raise your brothers, because I love you, and my dads knew that I wanted that because of what you would have, because I knew that's what you would have wanted. So they sold the boar 3 years ago when Sam got out because they knew I was going to take care of your brothers because I love you. When I got out of the car, I wheeled myself over to where the boar was, and the boar was still there, but it was under new management now. How much did they sell it for? I asked. $3 million, but he had plenty of money to begin with, answered Hannah. You make how much again? $300,000 a year. Wow! We're set financially. We then went into Hannah's house, and there was no door leading to the bar in the foyer. My suitcase is packed. I have clothes and toiletries, so all now packed for you, said Hannah. Where is everyone else? I asked. They took an early morning flight down to Orlando out Midway. This morning I booked us on a this morning, and I booked us on a first class United Airlines flight out of O'Hare that departs in a few hours. Sweet! We just have to leave soon because it is a long train ride to O'Hare because we need to take the red back down to Jackson and then take the blue to O'Hare, said Hannah. I see, I said. Sorry about having to schlep you all the way back downtown, but it saves me in parking. It is fine. Hannah brought those suitcases into the foyer. Would you like to get a bite to eat at Subway on Howard closer to the station because it will save us money? But if we get food at the airport, and the next meal we have is on our flight to Orlando, Hannah asked. Sure, I answered. Then we're off. We then left Hannah's house, and then we began traveling down Howard Street, and 3 minutes later we were at the Subway, and we each got buffalo chicken subs, and we said grace, and then we began eating. So, how are your dad's brothers doing? I asked. They're doing well, Hannah asked. Do you know how my grandparents who live in Orlando are doing? You don't? I don't. They unfortunately passed away. Oh. We were notified about it that they died when they learned about the stress of the fact their son was dead, and they interpreted as their daughter-in-law being the one who killed him. I see. Did he have plans on seeing them, though? Hannah asked. No, honestly, I just wanted to know, I answered. Okay. I don't want to see them just for how they treated George and my mother. Do you consider yourself on bad terms with your parents? Well, bad isn't the right word. Well, good is for sure the wrong word. Yeah. Yep. How are your aunts doing? Nothing has really changed about them. They're all still single, but they all visit me once a month when I was in the asylum, including my Aunt Diane, who flies in all the way from Seattle. So are you on good terms with them? Yes. There was a pause as I was opening my bag of potato chips I got with my sub.